The results of 5 years of leopard surveys using cameras that are triggered automatically when a leopard passes by has raised some serious concerns among specialists. It turns out that some of our well-known leopards disappear very quickly and without a trace, and that new ones show up in their place. There are a couple of possible reasons for this. One might be threats from human activity, poaching, game hunting, timber harvest, fires, road building. Or it could be that inbreeding is degrading the leopard's gene pool, leaving the animal weaker. The only way to answer these questions is to give the leopards a complete physical, and also the tigers living among the leopards, since the diseases that plague tigers are the same ones that trouble leopards. As crazy as it might seem, about a month ago this idea turned into reality when the Biology and Soils Institute of the Russian Academy of Sciences, the US-based Wildlife Conservation Society, and the London Zoological Society carried out a joint project. An international team of specialists under the direction of Alexei Kostyria and John Goodrich turned the Nezhinsky Hunting Collective into a scientific field station equipped with the latest gear. An American, Melody Ilka, from the Laboratory of Genomic Diversity in Maryland, was invited to take the lead at the station. Melody has examined hundreds of lions, leopards, and American pumas and Florida panthers. Only this is Melody's first time dealing with the tigers and leopards that live in severe Russian conditions. The medical field laboratory is ready, but don't expect that the clients will just voluntarily line up at the door. We'll have to run after our patients. An ideal location for snaring the animals is picked. According to camera data, these crests serve as home range for 3 males and 1 female leopard. At least 2 tigers also use this area. So as to keep to a minimum the time an animal is in the snare, each one is rigged with a special sensor that sends out a signal when tripped. And here at the base camp, there's a 24-hour-a-day watch. One of the traps set to snare a tiger springs at 3 in the morning on October 26th. There was no question of waiting till sunup to work in the light of day. So bending under the weight of the packs, Melody and the team rush off with their portable lab. After the immobilizing dart does its job, the researchers have only a limited amount of time to do their work. They need to work efficiently and deftly, as is the case in this instance. A lot has to be done. Run a general physical, take heart, lung, and temperature readings, check out the mouth cavity, eyes, skin, take blood, lymph node, sperm, hair and skin samples, make a collection of parasites. The first patient is an adult male tiger, around age 10. No spring chicken in tiger terms. Even so, the animal is in good physical shape. Given the hours that go into processing and preserving material in field conditions, Melody virtually lived in the lab from that night on. A small, yet stout male, weighing about 50 kilograms, showed up right in the middle of the day. To the uninitiated, planting a dart accurately into a large muscle might seem like the most important task. But the trick is really in preparing the dart. You have to figure the dose right there in the field, since the patient's weight has to be estimated before shooting. If you err, and the dose is less than needed, the animal won't let you finish the physical. If you administer too much, there can be complications. The examination shows this patient to be around 9 years old. Only age has not taken its toll. He is still strong and firm, and though his fangs are yellowed, they remain dagger sharp. The second leopard turns out to be significantly larger, stronger, and more representative than the first. And he's really hot about this inconvenience to his personal life. Alexei Kostyria is again figuring the configuration of the spots on his oldest acquaintance. This fine male has for more than 4 years been graciously filling our photo gallery by regularly triggering the cameras in his area. The age suggested by this male's photographs are confirmed in the examination, around 6. In life, he turns out to be even more beautiful, stately, and grand than in any of the portraits. Now the team is really worked up. What it now wants is the female leopard. But in lieu of the collective dream, an old, large tigress shows up for an examination, an animal who's birthed and raised more than one litter of kittens in her time. And strange as it seems, just like the first tiger, she shows up at 3 o'clock in the morning. This scientific program examined 4 tigers and 4 leopards, meaning we made half our plan. Field work will continue until heavy freezes set in, and then it will set off again in the spring. But no one is going to get a winter vacation in the meantime. Back in Maryland, lab technicians will be bending over all the new samples. In the not-too-distant future, we'll get a comprehensive answer to a key question. Are today's efforts to protect the leopard adequate? Or do we have to resort to international zoos to give our suffering, lonely wild males a chance to mate with a female leopard? One thing is clear, however. The era of protecting an identityless population of 30 or 40 leopards is over. Now we need to know each of them personally, so as to protect and save each of the survivors. We had intended to close our report here, adding that the project had been greatly aided by the hunters from the Pacific Fleet Hunting Society. But matters turned out differently. On November 15th, a collective hunt was run on the territory of a deer farm in Hasansky Rayon. And instead of the expected wild boar and deer, a tiger landed in the sights. He had just killed a wild boar and had started to eat. The thick line of hunters didn't leave the tiger an escape route, and all he could do was rush the line of hunters stretched along the crest. The tiger took 4 10mm bullets, managed to bite a hunter's leg, and then died. When the researchers, along with the members of the Special Field Team Tiger, arrived on the scene, they immediately recognized an old friend who had been photographed for 5 years and who a month earlier had been given a checkup. To our regret, this is more often the case than not with the Amur tiger. He had never shown any aggressive behavior in his 10 years, had no serious health problems, was well fed, and the wild boar kill showed he didn't have any problems with prey either. According to the American veterinarian taking part in the autopsy, the tiger remained alive for at least several minutes following the first shot, and until he was finally killed with a point-blank shot. We are still waiting the official results of the autopsy, and the case is being handled by the Khazansky Rayon Police Department. Special Field Team Tiger will also put in a word. Meanwhile, a young and beautiful 6-year-old male, who was the last tiger to undergo an examination, is still unaware that an expansive hunting territory has now opened up. And if he behaves himself, he might even get to take it over.